Welcome to Comics News Today. And we're going to get into some very interesting things, guys. Well, everyone, I did it again, and you can blame me because I deserve being blamed. I'm going to I have to write that down right here on my screen. I'm going to put a big old memo that says, "Shut off, mute the YouTube, mute the YouTube." Yell at me, Denelli.
Mute the YouTube and
Thank
share the screen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show today, and we're going to get into the news, of course, very shortly. Of course, I'm going to come over here and say hello to our panel today. Of course, we have the Denali Lama as usual. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling stuffed for all the great food that I ate today.
Oh, really? What did you eat for Thanksgiving, man?
I ate sweet potatoes with pecans and cinnamon and brown sugar, string beans, mashed potato stuffing with cranberry, the southern gravies with the giblets and eggs in it.
Ooh.
That was my first time having that. Yeah. And these gorgeous carved meat of turkey.
Oh,
Nice.
And then pumpkin pie. Yeah.
And then pumpkin pie. Wow. Well, for me, Thanksgiving dinner is always the one I hated the most because it has so much of the food that I can't stand. I prefer Christmas dinner much more. But I did like the pie. The pie after was good, except for pumpkin pie. I can't stand pumpkin pie. But my family would have it like just this cornucopia of pie across this gigantic table. So I used to love that. So over here in Japan, of course, I don't have any kind of Thanksgiving dinner, which is good by me. But I'm assuming you do, Brad. So how was your Thanksgiving today?
You assumed wrong today.
I did.
Yeah, so apparently because my family, my two other brothers, they go around to they have different families they go to, and wives and girlfriends and things like that. And so I ended up missing Thanksgiving dinner last night because I was streaming on Drawn and Quartered, and because they decided to do a last minute one. And then today I was supposed to meet up with my parents for we'll go out to Thanksgiving dinner. It was so packed we couldn't get in. So I had a super nacho from Betos for my Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow.
Super. Yeah. That sounds better, though. I like the sound of that.
It was actually quite tasty, but I wanted the turkey, wanted the mashed potatoes and gravy and stuff, but I couldn't get it.
So. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I got hosed.
Go Cowboys. Like they're waiting for football just to enter that sequencer there. But yeah, man, sorry to hear about that Nacho Grande.
It was good. I mean, it was good, but it's not like Thanksgiving, Yeah. So.
No, well,
it is what it is.
But excellent. Glad to have you here, Brad. Of course,
Thanks.
Brad here is Pencil for Life, and we'll be getting some information from him at the end, so you guys can contact him, get in touch with him. Brad is a great artist. You've seen him on the Fan Edition, and you've seen him on the Pro Edition. How was your experience in the Pro Edition?
I think I tried to do too much and made it, instead of just focusing on the character, I went a little too wide in my scope, and so. That's why I lost, but you analyze and you come back later stronger than ever. So
True. But I don't know if Mike was beatable on that day, though. His Boba Fett was amazing.
Mike was, dude. That was superb. Yeah, but it was fun time. It was good to hang out and talk to all those guys, and I've met John a few times and stuff, and a couple of the other guys before. But yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing about it, networking and getting your face out there. That's what's important, right? Of course, of course, guys, we want to mention all of our links down below. We have our Fan Speak page on Facebook. We'd love for you to come over there and join us and be part of that. We also have the links for myself on Facebook and Twitter, where you can get in touch with me and you can let me know to put you on the show, like we have Brad on here today. and be part of what we're doing. We also have our podcast, which I need to put more on there, but there are some there for you to go and check those out. And we have our donations as well if you want to help out with the giveaways and stuff we want to do here. But other than that, let me come over to the chat and say hello to you guys, and then we'll get right into the news. So I
And
see. Yeah, go ahead, Janelli.
And I was gonna say, and before you talk with everybody and say hi to everybody, make sure you hit that like, share button because that helps us grow, and subscribe if you haven't. And we're very thankful that you guys joined us on Thanksgiving as well. So
Yeah, absolutely.
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving for sure. So let's come over here. We see Joshua Hughes, of course, our most favorite troll, and he's in here and he says, "Did you hear that I joined Stream and claimed the entire live stream for the Cult of Raven last night?" Well, that's only because I wasn't there, Joshua.
Wait, did he actually go in?
Maybe Manny let him on or something like that. But Manny gets a little
well,
punchy a little bit when it gets later.
I sort of maybe gave him the link before I left.
Oh, did you? So you were being mischievous. I see.
Yeah, I wanted to see what would happen, but I missed it. Oh well.
Now, Brad, before I continue on with the chat here, do you have any kind of no, see, I'm not getting it from you. I'm getting it from Denali. There's some echo coming through your speaker, your mic, Denali. I don't know what it is. Yeah. But anyway, Tank Ferret is here. It says, "It's true. I was there. Hail Raven." Okay. Well, nice to see you, Tank. I hope you're having a good Thanksgiving. We see E. Ortiz. Jimmy's in here. Happy Thanksgiving. You all stop working? Lol. No. Well, let's say I have no Thanksgiving here. It's a normal work day for me. The DJD show is here. He says, "Hey, happy Thanksgiving." And it says, "Back to pie and football." Well, thank you for coming in and say hello. The Willie Mammoth is here, and he says, "Happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends." Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, you too, William. Yeah, good. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into our news today, and we have a few interesting articles. We're going to start out with a heavy one, and then we're going to get into some more lighthearted ones. So let me come over here and share with my panel so they can see what's going on and be part of it here. And now the first one we're talking about here, Denali, why don't you go ahead and inform the peoples?
So DC Comics is making Aquaman issue 43 semi-returnable for Kelly Sue DeCormick and Robinson Roca's launch. So they're saying to any retailers, if you order high enough numbers, you can return about half of those back if they don't sell after a couple of weeks, that shows no confidence in Miss Kelly's writing in this issue. And second of all, they're trying to inflate the number of issues shipped for it to kind of show positivity for that line, especially since Aquaman's going to be coming out in theaters. What do you think, Brad, as a retailer, about this news?
So it as a retailer with that kind of news, it gives us, it gives the store the ability to order some and return some so we don't lose all of our money. Like they did that with Rebirth when it came out, where we could order tons of copies and we can send back what we didn't want for the first five issues or something like that, 5 or 6 issues. But what I don't like about it is we're taking a risk on a person that's clearly, I personally, their books don't sell in my area. And 2, I have to pay for shipping to send it back, so I'm not going to get my full money back. So I personally wouldn't do it for my shop. I like returnability if they would pay for shipping. But I wouldn't take the risk on that book. So
that's interesting. Now you run a comic store. You run and own it as well?
I don't own it. I was the full-time manager for the shop for going on 3 years. Now I just work part-time to help them out, but mainly do comics and things like that for them. So.
I see. Yeah, I don't know much about it, to be honest with you, which is why I kind of just let you guys go on with the conversation. But for me, the general idea sounded good, but after you explain the whole shipping costs and stuff like that,
Yeah,
it's not the best option, but at least it is an option because the comic book
it's
companies
an
do.
option. Yeah,
Yeah, they don't usually let you return stuff, so even getting
sure,
some of the money back is better than none, right?
that is true.
Right.
That's very true. But you can
But
also get that money back by selling it at a discounted rate. So it's like,
Ah, that's
why,
true.
why would I? That's if it's going
yeah.
to sell though. So
Yeah,
Well, and
yeah,
usually when they do returnability, it shows that they like confident that this is going to be actually a good seller. So there's
well,
already, yeah,
they need to do returnability though to boost up sales. I think because that would have shops buy more books. That would give a reason for people to, because when we see the books on the shelves, large stacks, people tend to check it out more.
oh really? That's interesting.
It's metal when that was coming out. The hardcore fans knew what it was already, so they were going to get it. But I ordered 30 shelf copies because I knew there was going to be people who want to pick it up later. And it also has it gets the store excited, gets it hyped. The employees feel good about, like, look how many copies are on the shelves. It's going to be great. And then they'll pick it up and look at it and like, oh, I'll give it a shot, man. It must be good because they have so many here. To a point, that looks good. If you only have like one, two, three, and then a huge stack, that'll send you the wrong message. But if you're getting lots of books on the shelves, people are picking up lots of books at the same time. You can feel that energy in the shop when you're buying books, and it'll increase sales. But I don't know. It's a fickle way when people buy stuff retail. So it's mostly emotion based. So
right. Well, I think it's kind of like a difference. Like if it's a good seller and you have a lot of it, then it feels good. But if you're like a week
yeah,
and you still have a stack that hasn't moved
mm-hmm.
1 inch, then you got a
like
problem there.
Iceman is a perfect example. When they
Yeah.
overshipped it, because I ordered 0 copies for the shelf and 0 for the holds because nobody wanted it, and I still got 5. I'm like, why did you send me this book? I don't want it, and I get charged for that shipping too, by the way. It's done by weight.
I was going to ask you,
I'm
like, you didn't order anything. Did you have to pay the shipping? But you just answered.
Yes, you do. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but they charge us for the shipping to and from. So
Wow.
And you can't deny it. You can't say I don't want it. You have
Nope.
to get it. Wow.
Yeah, so because when you get the boxes, they're all sealed and all the comics are in there. It's either if you deny that shipment, you're sending all your comics back.
See, these are dirty little things
Wow.
that Marvel and Diamond do. Now, is this mainly Marvel or DC's action, or is this a Diamond thing?
It's a Diamond action because they can get away with it because they're a solo distributor in the United States.
Wow. See, that's why Monopoly sucks. My
Yeah.
contribution to this conversation is very, very simple. This is a cool Aquaman pick. This is a bad one. I mean, it's cool,
Yeah.
bad, cool, bad. I mean, look at it. It's wonky. There's something wonky about the Aquaman here.
Well, yeah. Isn't he part mermaid too? Wait, go back to it. Yeah. Pull your screen back up again.
It's the perception of it. It's like it's like he's bending backwards.
Yeah.
That's the wonkiness, and it's not going the full way.
His head is so far tilted. It just,
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a bad pick.
Right.
It's bad.
I'm
And is
gonna
that the
break my
same
neck.
artist? Is that this artist here? Is this Robson Roca?
No, because that's a cover
I
art.
don't think so.
That's a cover art.
Yeah.
That's one of the variant cover arts.
Well, it's definitely wonky. Now, on the fact of the traditional, Arthur and the new one, I actually don't mind Jason Momoa playing Aquaman at all. I think
I think he's
he's
great.
fine. I'm just saying the picture's wonky, not the fact that he's in there, because I know some of you were thinking that, especially Joshua.
Those sharks look weird too in the
Yeah,
background.
it's not a good pick. This seems more like an amateur attempt, which if it were, that would be awesome. I would like, oh, good job. But this is, I don't know what that is. Anyway,
Yeah, even her neck feels unnatural.
yeah, it is. Well, let's move on to the next one
Yeah.
here. We're moving on to this here. Peter Weller reportedly not interested in Blomkamp RoboCop reboot. Well, I'd kind of imagine if you went to the guy and say, "Hey, we're doing a reboot," he would say, get off my lawn." But once again, reboot talk. And didn't we just try to reboot this thing recently? I mean, you know, but
Well, recently speaking, but it tanked because it didn't have the essence of why the first one was amazing
well, yeah, it
in the
didn't have
second
Peter
one.
Weller.
Yeah.
Peter Weller is an amazing actor. I love this guy. He's in a lot of really, really good movies. Another one I love is Buckaroo Banzai. Is a good one, but
Right.
I guess that is an acquired taste for some people. But yeah, I love Peter Weller. But I guess in general here, the conversation here is going to be about, what do you think of a reboot, and what do you think of Blomkamp, really? Because Peter Weller is not part of the conversation. But one, do we need a reboot? And two, do you
No.
think no? Do you think Blomkamp deserves anything? He's only done one good movie, really.
No. Yeah, all his other movies kind of stinked.
Yeah.
So I don't
like
know who
M Night,
Blomkamp is. Yeah. I don't know.
District
Blomkamp-
9.
Oh, District 9? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He also did
know.
Elysium with
Yeah, I like that one.
Matt Damon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what is it? Which one was Chappie?
Chappie.
Chappie.
Chappie?
Chappie. Yeah.
Okay, I liked all three of those.
See, I
There you
didn't
go.
like Chappie at all. I didn't like Elysium
But
at all.
I don't
Love
think we need
District 9.
reboots. Yeah, I don't think we need reboots. I think Hollywood has done enough reboots. They need to stop doing reboots for a while. If they're going
Right.
to do a RoboCop story, do a new story with the RoboCop character. But you don't need to reboot it because we already kind of know what happened, how he got his stuff, anyways.
Right.
Just move on and do a new story with RoboCop. Everybody knows who he is.
You know what would be cool, though? Well, how they actually could do a good story is get Peter Weller on board as being the same character, just much older, right? Because we put him in the RoboCop stuff, he can look the same. We can make, even though he's older, we can make it look the same. And what you do is you have that instead of these other type of robots, they have a more perfected type of RoboCop, which they tried to do with the Ninja one, but it failed.
Yeah.
But have like an army of them, and do some kind of story where he's not necessarily taking on the whole army, but some kind of story where he is trying to show them the error of their ways, or trying to maybe get a hold of them and rewire them or reboot them or something like
I
that.
don't even know if we need to do that. We can just do
No.
it in a new city. It's the future. It's the RoboCop program. It was just used in a different city this time. But it's a
Right.
completely new story, completely new, maybe a new location. Maybe it's over in Shanghai or something like that, or over in Tokyo. Future Tokyo. You never know, but give it a different feel, a different flavor.
Yeah, but
So
the problem is there's no way they're not going to try to make money off this with some kind of reboot or a sequel or something. There's no way. They're going to do it eventually.
okay.
Yeah.
cool.
It's just like how people are wanting Back to the Future 4, and
Oh, God.
Robert Zemeckis said, "Not over my
I
dead
heard
body."
that one. Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
doing polls. It's like, we want them back. I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I
Michael J.
think
Fox playing the role. Yeah, not going to happen.
I don't think I brought that one up, but
Yeah.
no, that is a very good point. I do want to come over here to the chat real quick and say hello to you guys again. I see Pofire's in here. Hello, very nice to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. We see Willie in here as again. Trusty Sidekick. Hello, how you doing? Kat is in here. Hello. She says hi to everybody. And Captain Canada has arrived, and he says, "I like all three of those movies." All right, fine. Good for you. Good for you, Mr. Canada. But this is a pic that Denali put up on the Fanspeak show, and this is a really good Snoopy Thanksgiving with Woodstock. I thought it was cute, so I would share it. But anyway, let's move on to our next story. Now this one, Amazon accidentally streamed the next episode of Doctor Who days early, and nobody watched it.
Right.
What's Doctor Who?
Right. And they
oh.
accidentally, and they accidentally streamed it. Quote, accidentally, wink, wink, because of their last episode about Kablam, which is not so subtle jab at Amazon. But anyways, accidentally.
Sure.
Let's move on.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. It's who cares. Um, this one is an important one, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into it right now. Denali, go ahead and read that headline and introduce this to us, please.
Sure. Stanley Powell Entertainment responds to Bill Meyer's vile comment about the comic creator's death.
Now,
And then yeah.
go ahead, dude.
Yeah, I was going to read. Bill Meyer recently published a blog post in which he made light of Stan Lee's legacy and mocked those mourning the comic book creator. Now, Powell Entertainment has issued a response in regards to that. And as we talked about a couple these this week ago, he made some thoughtless comments about Mr. Stan Lee. Then he makes a follow-up comment that he doesn't know anything about comic books and what Stan Lee actually has done, but he's going to double down anyways because the fact that you adults are responding negatively about it just proves my point.
Yeah, Bill Maher is an absolute jagoff. And not only that, he's being extremely ignorant on something he said he's ignorant on, and therefore maybe you should keep your mouth shut. But what I want to do is I want to read the response here from Powell, okay? Mr. Mayor, comic books, like all literature, are storytelling devices. When written well by great creators such as Stan Lee, they make us feel, make us think, and teach us lessons that hopefully make us better human beings. One lesson Stan taught us, so many of us, was tolerance and respect. And thanks to that message, we are grateful that we can say, you have a right to your opinion, that comics are childish and unsophisticated. Many said the same about Dickens, Steinbeck, Melville, and even Shakespeare. But to say that Stan merely inspired people to watch a movie is, in our opinion, frankly disgusting. Countless people can attest to how Stan inspired them to read, taught them that the world is not made up of absolutes, that heroes can have flaws, and even villains can show humanity within their souls. He gave us the X-Men, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and many other heroes and stories that offered hope to those who felt different and bullied when inspiring countless to creative and dream of great things to come. These are but a few of the things we, the fans of Stan Lee, also consider adulting. Because life, both as a child and grown up, can indeed be a struggle. Stan is the author of millions of happy childhood memories and the provider of so many of the positive tools of adulthood. Our shock at your comments makes us want to say, "Nuff said, Bill," but instead we will rely on another of Stan's lessons to remind you that you have a powerful platform. So please remember, with great power, there must also come great responsibility. Team Stan. Very nice letter.
Amen.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, really. It's almost like a perfect prayer right there. Amen, dude.
Amen.
No, I'm serious. I mean, the message that they're sending there was straight to the point. It wasn't being over the top. It was, look, this is what he's done. You're being an arrogant tool. It was perfect. So,
yeah, it's a very good letter.
Yes, it was like you said, straight to the point. It wasn't meandering. It wasn't adding dramatics. It wasn't virtual single lean. It was to the point and saying, look, if I was there, I would just cuff you around the ear and just say, be better.
Yeah.
And then move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's also, I don't understand this, what I'm seeing more and more these days. I mean, if you don't have something good to say, particularly about a dead person, don't say anything. I mean, it's simple respect. Whether you like Stan Lee or not, and it seems Bill Maher doesn't even know who he is, hardly, then certainly don't disrespect this person who has died. He's in the middle of memorial. Now, at a later period, if you want to pick up and talk about Stan Lee, go right ahead. But don't do it in the first week of his death. What is wrong with you, Bill Maher? You have a giant platform, as what is being said here. You are well known, and you're going to get up here and not only mock the man, mock his legacy, but mock millions of Americans who not only grew up with comic books, but still read them. This is incredibly, incredibly hateful and disrespectful action on Bill Maher's part, and I really don't understand. I know you want to be the virtue signaling and the edge lord. I get that, but your first statement, fine, but then doubling down even harder. Mm-mm,
I
no,
don't think he wants to be an edge lord. I don't think he cares about virtue signaling. To me, Bill Maher represents a lot of other people who are in the industry right now. A lot of young people who don't know what's going on. He represents people who the family culture has declined. They don't know what it means to be human and respect other people's life anymore. They uh, don't care. They don't care who they step on. They just want to make their point and walk away, and think there's no repercussions.
hmm
It's that lack of respect from lack of family, and that, especially in the United States, has creeped out and it's festering in what's becoming what we see today. That's personally what I believe. So
no, it's not just personally
it's
what you believe; it's statistically accurate. With the
yeah,
decline in the family and the single
yeah.
mother situation in America, it's an
Yep.
absolute disaster. And here's another
Single
thing.
mother. The
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a
Go
good
ahead.
thing. It's not. And
No.
one of the things that also comics did and continue to do, although at a lower rate because we've seen the decline in comic books, is comic books show you a hero. They express to you exactly what a hero is and does, and what a villain is and does. Having the dark hero every now and then, it's fun. It's a nice switch up on it. But having that Superman type of hero, or that wholesome hero that always does the right thing, is very important because it
Yeah.
delineates the line and it
hmm
teaches children that being heroic, being honorable, being responsible, doing the right thing is the way to be. And this is what comic books offers children. It is a very useful tool for another layer of education inside the household. And this is something that is certainly being lost.
That's what You guys remember Captain America: Civil War, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
The when he's talking to Spider-Man on the rooftop, that is the quintessential Cap. That is the quintessential hero. That means standing up on what you think is wrong. No matter what the odds are against you,
hmm
and doing the right thing.
Yeah,
So a lot of people don't do that these days. They cower over. They want to be Instagram celebrities. They want to be, you know, getting their high on or just going for the women. It's stupid, you know. And
it is.
with the loss of culture, with the loss of family, the loss of fathers in the home, the loss of respect, it's deteriorating. You know,
It is.
that's why. Yeah,
And here
go
on
ahead.
Thanksgiving, it's a good
Yeah,
thing to talk about, I think, because Thanksgiving is of course original inception, isn't? But it's about family, right? These days, it's about a time of family come together and be thankful for what's going on in their lives, and you know. Comic books are maybe not the most essential part of it, but they are part of it, right?
yeah,
And it's really unfortunate to have people like Bill Maher, and he's not alone. A lot of these celebrities, and
no,
I do have to say, we all have to say thank you to Kevin Feige for allowing Captain America to be Captain America, because they could have easily politically corrected him into the modern thinking, but they didn't. They left him Captain America, and I'm very happy
no.
about that.
But with the change of Captain America leaving, it's going to be Captain Marvel taking the lead role. That is what's going to happen in the
Mhm.
movies.
Possibly. We'll
That's
have
why.
to see. We'll have to see. Like I have said, we have to just trust in Feige, I hope. But hey, who knows? Nowhere here in the chat, I see Hillel is here from New Hero Comics. Hello. He says howdy. We also see that Ray Escarcega is here. How are you doing? And he says Cowboys suck. Well, I guess you don't like the Cowboys. But let's move on to our next. I think we could do one more here. I'll let you guys make a choice. Well, actually, I can go through them real quick. This right here, Hugh Jackman still doesn't want to do a Deadpool movie. He still says he's done, and
Right.
nothing's
He said
changed.
no.
He said no.
Yep.
Okay. Now,
He kind of
between
said
you,
no.
yeah, well, who knows? He could be playing a game. But here we can only do one more article, so let's choose. We either do this one or we do. Well, this one's really quick, actually. Let's just go through
Yeah.
it. This is what Ezra would look like. Ezra Miller would look like as Spider-Man. Thank you for hurting me on Thanksgiving, Denali.
Well, here's your daily dose of Ezra Miller.
Bleh, bleh. And if you guys wonder why we, I don't know, pick on Ezra Miller, it's because he's the quintessential SJW. That's why. I mean, we don't care about him being flamboyant, wanting to be Lady Gaga. That's, whatever, But this guy is pure HJW. And as far as I'm concerned, I wish he'd just stay on his polyamorous goat farm. But, Anyway, let's come into this one. Go ahead, Denelli.
Batman relationship with Jim Gordon might have been changed forever. And this is following a Tom King's issue where Batman is interrogating Bane, and Jim Gordon comes to confront him, and he punches out Jim Gordon, and Jim tells him to get the heck out of the place. Again, this is Batman being overly emotional, which he can be, but part of Batman's power is discipline. He uses fear tactics. He uses things. And this is, again, a person who is disciplined in all his actions. And this is, again, a writer who doesn't really understand what Batman's all about.
No, obviously.
He's just imitating Nolan's Batman with the Joker scene. This is the vibe I get without not understanding the reasoning behind it. And this is supposed to be an experienced Batman. I don't think so, but again, we see writers who don't understand characters putting a lot of what they quote their own life experiences into the character, quote unquote, and not really treating these characters with respect.
Now, do you think that King doesn't really know Batman, or does he, therefore hasn't done the research, which we've seen with a lot of these progressive writers these days? They don't bother to research anything, or does he know right well and he's going to change Batman because he knows better? Which one do you think it is, Brad?
I think he's got an ego and he's the writer. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, because Batman would not do this. As Denelli has said,
Yep.
one of the main things about Batman is control, ultimate control. He knows everything. Batman knows everything. That's his real power. Is the fact that he has has researched and has an understanding of everything at all times. He is the absolute embodiment of control. Batman doesn't lose control, especially not in some situation with Jim Gordon sitting in front of him. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. But you know how
not with Bane tied to a chair either.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous, man. Another thing, you know how Booster comes on, and when I mention Bendis, he goes Bendis. He does like that. Well, I'm going to start saying King from now on because this guy is really irking me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm glad you accepted that.
It was a pretty bad King yelling because he didn't go with the guttural disgust that he does.
I'm sorry. So now you're critiquing my shout? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Denelli. Thank you. All right, I'll try it again. King. Is that better?
No, lower.
Lower.
Kind of like, trying to do the voice.
Is that better? You like that one?
Chester, where are the drugs?
Fine. All right, I give up then. I'll just let Booster do it. He's better at it. All right. Anyway, see over here, Risey Lee has joined us. Hello, Risey. Risey says, maybe want to vomit watching Ezra and Justice League. Josh Hughes says, howdy, Brother Ray and Brother Risey. Well, hail Raven, of course. They say howdy back. Hillel says, I wish some of these gay actors would try and act straight when playing straight characters. Barry is straight, but Ezra played him in as clearly gay. Well, that's probably because he wants to make him gay.
I disagree with that one. So during Justice League, when he was playing Flash, I thought he played him like weak. He didn't understand. He was afraid of his powers. He was afraid of what to do. I thought he played him pretty good as Flash because he had lacked self-confidence.
Yeah, but
and that's what Bruce was trying to teach him. Just try to save one person.
He was a bumbling fool, though. And Barry Allen's not a fool. He's very smart. He's very clever.
Yeah, I get it. Well, that's the comics thing. That's the way he should be. But I get the why he was playing him that way. So I don't think he tried to play him like a gay guy. Just that, oh, I'm surrounded by all these cool superheroes. I'm a fanboy.
He tried to play him as a person that has ADHD and doesn't know what to do with himself. That's basically how he played it.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch that, Hillel. I didn't catch any gayness coming out of it. But then again, I'm not really paying attention to that kind of thing, I guess. I mean, if it was overt like he is in normal life, I would have been, whoa, what are you doing? But I wasn't really.
Keep those tights. Mm.
Did he say
Where's
that?
the nipples? No.
See, that would have been something like what? But no, but the problem with that movie was it just sucked. I mean, it sucked.
Yeah.
The whole movie sucked. There was only one part of that movie that was worth watching, and it killed me because the fight scene with Superman was so awesome. It was raw, pure awesome. I just got to cut that out and keep that because and I don't know how you have one scene that is so incredibly awesome, and then the rest of the movie be so sucky. I don't understand how that happens.
Fights the Justice League.
Oh yeah, dude, it was beautiful.
Yeah. That's the only part that didn't get touched. I think it's because when he left, and sorry to go off on this for a second.
No, go ahead.
When they had what's his name come in to do the show, they held his hand so much that they were like, "Dude, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that." So they pretty much needed to reshoot the film if they're going to make it happy and campy instead of being the dark, broody, takeover movie. It was supposed to be a Superman, and then so I don't know. Just Snyder's version was supposed to be dark and gritty and grimy, and then when he left because of the suicide of his daughter, right? Yeah, daughter.
Or son, I think. Wasn't his son?
Oh, son. Yeah. I don't remember which one it was, but
but that's tragedy.
Circumstances sucked. But the studio saw the footage and they were like, "Nope, we got to change this. We need to be more like Avengers," And they held his hand. They wouldn't let him do full reshoots. The other actors were already doing other movies, so he had to do what he had to do. Mm-hmm. So it's unfortunately that's the way it turned out.
Yep, it's just like the Solo movie. I mean, it's just too many cooks, man. But I will say that the Superman fighting the Justice League scene in that movie is one of the greatest moments in superheroes movies of all time, which is weird to say in such a horrible movie because it's really bad. but anyway, let's come over here real quick. Hillel really got he came off as excuse me, he came off as gay. I was let down because based on the trailer I thought it was going to be fun. Yeah, okay, dude. I didn't really pay attention to it, and I'm not going to go back and watch it again. Risey Lee said CW shows suck sometimes, but I would still watch a full season of Supergirl over Justice League any day.
Oh.
Ouch!
Ooh, I don't know about
Sorry,
that.
I wouldn't even do that.
Painful, dude.
Yeah, at least Justice League's over in 2 hours.
True, yeah. But that sucks, right? Because Supergirl could have been fun, man. They could have had a really fun show with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have loved to seen a good Supergirl show, but nope. Joshua Hughes, the scene with Superman versus the League was epic. Yes, it was. Too bad they didn't have one like that with the League versus the villains. Yeah, huh?
No kidding, right?
Yeah. But no, because the movie's horrible, and they got way off of canon with many points, which only matters to us, comic book fans. But yeah, I am definitely going to get that video somewhere, and I'm gonna chop out that section and keep that because that section was beautiful.
They had the whole fight scene on YouTube you can watch.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a cutout piece, so why not? Yeah. It was beautiful. All right, guys. Now we're going to move over and we're going to go to Indie Chrono as we usually do. Let me get rid of some of these to pick up a little bandwidth for us. So yeah, now Brad, we're coming over here, and you
Sure.
are our guest today. So please pick our Indicron.
I'm gonna go with Nox because I haven't looked at that one. This is the first time I've looked at it.
Neither have
So,
I, dude. And of course,
okay.
guys, by the way, Indicron is made by Pixel Trader, and he's working on updated versions all the time. He's putting a lot of hard work into it. And keep in mind that Pixel Trader's Indicron is the sponsor of this show, and we're very happy and proud of all the work he does. And we thank him very much for all the for helping us and being part of Fan Speak here. And coming down to Knox, they changed the picture on me. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look. I haven't looked at this either, so that's good. It's a new one for me. Do you know this one, Danelle?
Yeah, it's basically Nox is about, a score on Fort Knox.
Yeah.
And
I was with disabled vets.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The hardest part about breaking into Fort Knox is getting out with the gold. Yeah. This is from AP Anderson 89, San Antonio, United States. I don't know if I would put my handle in there, or whatever the young kids call it today, but I would put my real name. I don't know about this AP Anderson 89 thing. I mean, you're selling something here. You're not on Twitter, but nevertheless, whatever. It has made some money though. It's made $1,740. It's got 25 days left. It has a flexible goal of 15,000, which flexible means whatever they get, they take. Which I don't know how I feel about those flexible goals, but I guess that's a conversation for a different day. But anyway, he says it's like Ocean's 11 and the A-Team. It's full on-action comics glory, 60 pages of comic goodness. Well, I have to say, Denelli, it doesn't tell me much, but it does give me a picture, and it does tell me the page count.
The story's down at the very bottom. It's only like a paragraph.
That's not good.
Nope, the story needs to be at the top.
Yep. And there's no featured perk. You should have the featured up here. Well, anyway, let's get
into it. The bonus perk is at the bottom.
Yeah. So while you're showing the picture, I'll read the story.
Go ahead.
The Nox is about a squad of soldiers who had a strings of bad luck since returning from Vietnam. One has lost his legs, the other his store, and the others aren't doing too well either. They hatch a plan to rob Fort Knox. The robbery was the easy part. Getting away with it is the hard part. Cutting deals with the mob is an easy street that it sounded like. Betrayal is all around the corner for all.
Hey, Obama's in this comic book. Hello, Obama. Well, all right.
No, he is the Prince of Peace. So.
Yeah, is he? Oh, goodness gracious. But let's not get into that. Well, all right. Well,
yes. Let's keep that out.
Please. Okay, guys. Well, let's look at the inks here before we look at the colors. Now, of course, it's really good because we have Brad on here. Brad is an artist, a very good artist.
Sure.
So, Brad, why don't you walk us through these inks and what you think about them, man?
Okay. Actually, I kind of like as a black and white. It looks great as a black and white. I feel you get a lot of the action. You get a lot of feel of the movement of the characters. So I don't mind them too much at all. Actually, I think it's okay. I think a couple panels could have been done a little bit differently, but that's just a couple of panels. Most of it looks pretty good. I don't have a problem with it. It's more of a cartoon style than mine, which is fine. There's plenty of movement in the panels, so you can kind of tell what's going on with the story, without having words there, so which is good because if you can tell a story on the page and get an idea of what's happening without using words or balloons, you're doing great. And so I feel they had that going on here. So I have no problems with just the regular black and whites.
I like the here where we're looking through the binocular type of panel. I like that. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat. That was good because you get the nose underneath too, stuff like that. So. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I actually like it when he's throwing the grenade at the last one. So they know it's coming. They're peeking around the corner. Like, oh look, there they are. I got a grenade. yells at him, and then he runs out and throws it. So
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of good.
that's cool. See, that's interesting. The eye for detail you had because I didn't even catch this nose here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a reflection inside the
Yeah,
binocular.
yeah, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of
I
cool.
I'd put a bigger, darker ring around it, but yeah, it's not bad. Yeah,
All right, so the pencils aren't bad, and they're not necessarily the most awesome thing
yeah,
ever, but I think they're fine. They're very stylized. It's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
It looks good.
yeah.
And now we're
Easy to
getting
read.
into the color
Yeah.
though. What do you think about the color being added? How's the colors done here?
The colors are kind of simple, so I don't think it takes away from it, but it kind of does a little bit. Like, so if we go to the first page,
Mhm.
where they're looking at the map and the arm is there and they're over the map, he has those dark shadows going in over some of the black lines on the. I don't know what color it is. I want to say green outfit there or whatever.
Yeah, it's green.
It's a little too dark. It doesn't feel like a shadow, and but it's just minor stuff. I think it's okay. The lighter though doesn't reflect on the face. The color doesn't, because it usually would in a
I
situation
see.
like that.
So maybe this
Yep.
is not necessarily a pro colorist. It might be a
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
aspiring colorist. I see. Well, that's okay
Not
though.
bad.
This is an Indiegogo project, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Mhm.
I would say one thing offhand, and I know Denali will agree. There's word bubbles here, and that's a good thing. We want to
Yep.
see them. Huh, Denali?
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Many times we have sequential art, but we don't have any dialogue to kind of get the feel of what this story is
Yep.
going to play out.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah. So
very good.
that's because I think because some of the bigger artists right now, they don't put word balloons on theirs. They're just showing the artwork.
Yeah.
Like John Malin, he didn't have word balloons on his. So people just think, we don't want to give away the story, so we shouldn't put them on there either. I personally like word balloons. I want to read the first 5 pages, and that might get me hooked. So, that's what I would like. But,
Yeah. Well, if you kind of look at it, you have Mike S. Miller with Lone Star. The first 10 pages, I think, has
Yeah.
word balloon as well for his
Okay.
writing. So,
Well,
so
we
yeah.
have some word balloons here, so let's read through it and see how it feels. I will be the dude over here in the top panel. We'll let Denali be the long-haired hippie here. Okay?
Mhm.
All right,
Cool.
so here we go.
Alrighty.
All right, here we go. You're out of your damn mind.
You guys all owe me, and the United States owe all of us for all of our sacrifice.
We're gonna need practice.
So we'll rob a bank.
That's taking it too far, man. Let's go. Oh, that's a different thing. We'll stick that one
Y-
down.
Yeah, it's not consistent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the point I'm trying to
Yeah.
make, guys. It doesn't flow. It's
No.
also this right here. You guys all owe me, and the United States owes all of us for our sacrifice. That's not how humans talk.
Yeah, there's definitely some punctuation that needs to be adjusted there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that
a little
has to
bit of
do with
rewrite
lettering.
wouldn't be bad.
What?
Yep.
What do you say?
I would just go over it since it's not done yet, and just kind of reread it again and again.
Oh, sure.
And then tell it it's better. And then
Yeah,
maybe-
just read it out loud.
Yeah.
Kind of. So
Like we just
let's
did.
see.
That's why I wanted to do it. And it's also not
Yeah.
clear really who's talking here, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's off panel. But I think, the lettering could use more of where they do in lettering, where they'll have some words are bold to give you kind
Yeah.
of the emphasis point of where you need to be
Yeah.
feeling it. And that's a very useful
Mhm.
tool. And they're not using that here. They should.
What they could do too, it's multiple people around the table,
Mhm.
is give a different bubble style to a different person talking.
That's true.
So
That's
that way you
clever as
know
well.
who's talking.
Or they can color the bubble differently, and you can
Yeah,
tell
either
which
one. Yeah, some way you
Yeah.
can tell though. That's consistent throughout the whole book.
But then again, this once again may just be either the writer or an aspiring letterer that's
Mhm.
simply using a software, and they're just learning, and that's fine. That's
Mhm.
absolutely fine. This is an Indiegogo project, and they're trying to get themselves out there, and I think it's cool. I'm not.
Correct. Yeah.
I think they should work on the dialogue a little bit, but I'm glad that it's here, though. I'm glad to see it.
Oh,
It gives
yep.
me a feel.
On the
Yeah.
second colored page, I'd work on the coloring for that action shot thing. It's
Mhm.
a little distracting for me because like the backlit is brighter than the characters are, the backgrounds are. Um, it's a little bit distracting for me.
Now, let me come over here to the chat real quick and see if we have any comments here, and then we'll come back and finish up on this one right here. Let's
Sure.
see. Take Fair says superheroes for lifetime. Yeah, which if that's their market, awesome, right? New Hero Comics says on the nose, Tanka. He agrees. Of course, sometimes I feel the same way about the Flash TV show. Well, it's definitely not for me. It's definitely more of a teenage type of drama, but that's okay. Most things are sold to young people anyway. Manny is in here from Good Dog Press. He says, "Aloha, making dinner, won't be typing. Well, enjoy your dinner making, and I hope it's something edible." Hmm. The Unbreathable Skunk Girl says, "Happy Thanksgiving, all for the Skunk Girl family." Well, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Kat
Yeah.
says, "I like the black and white inks as well. Yeah, those look better." Joshua says, "Howdy, Mr. and Mrs. Skunk Girl, or Skunk." Okay. Kat says, "It's very clear for being on black and white." Yeah, I thought it looked good.
Yeah. In
Vailnit is
fact, I
here.
think that you should leave it that way.
Yeah. Maybe that could be better as a black and white. Valenlin
Mhm.
says, "Hail Raven," of course. And Joshua says, "Howdy, brother." Valenlin, "Hail Raven." More "Hail Raven." Lots of "Hail Raven." Zach Hawkins here says, "Happy Thanksgiving, all." Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, Zach. All right, guys. But I don't know what. I guess the question comes down to this: we got some perks. They're pretty standard. I don't see anything here that's out of the ordinary for what we see in these type of things. The overall book here is the $20 one, which I think is a good
Mhm.
price point. It should be sitting up top though, right? But I guess the question would be, from looking at the art, the writing, and the concept, is this a book you would like to back? I mean, are you interested in a Ocean's 11 hits Fort Knox? Is that something interesting to you?
So I would back this if they changed it from full color to more of a grayscale.
Hmm.
Um, I think that would work a little bit better, especially with how black the blacks are and how much detail he's putting in with the inks. Um, uh, to me, it would look better as a black and white grayscale book. The price, the 15 grand though,
It's
it's
high.
probably that's way high for asking,
Yep.
especially I don't know who you are,
I don't either.
I know what it costs to make a book because I'm doing my own. That is way high, dude. Even for a
It is.
60-page book, you know, uh, and depending on what you're printing, if you're going to be doing it in China, I know what the
Hmm.
prices are. That's way high to ask. I would probably
It
drop
is.
it down to 6 grand, maybe seven.
Yep. Five
You
to eight.
know,
5 to 8
yeah,
is really where you should be looking for these kind of
yeah,
things. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But it
correct.
is
Yeah,
flexible, so
and
they
then
don't really
that
care.
way you get the store afterwards too, because
Hmm.
if he doesn't make that flexible goal, I mean, not the flexible goal, if he doesn't make the 15 grand, it will not turn over to a store for him, even if it's a flexible goal.
Yep.
So, and where your money is, if the book is not done, you want to be able to sell those books as you're producing the pages. So, if he's not going to be able to hit that goal, and he's only going to get like say $1,700, right? Where he's at now, if he stops there, that's all he's going to get. They still got to finish the book. There may be a chance it might be over. Like,
Hmm.
oh, I may not even finish it because that's not enough money for me. They keep the money. So if he did 5 to 7 or 8,000, fixes his goal, like hits the goal, then he turns it over to a store. That gives them more incentive to promote the book, keep going on with the book, get more sales for the book, do more interviews, and finish the artwork at the same time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's much more of a risk with a high goal like that, and it's not going to be turned into a store. So
Well, what do you think, Denali?
I think what Brad said is pretty much true.
Okay.
yep,
Me
there we
personally,
go.
I think this is the best piece of art on the page right here. I like the American flag being in there. The problem for me is I'm not really interested in an Ocean's level version taking over Fort Knox unless it's brilliantly clever with interesting twists. I'm not interested at all. And now, if that's what it is, then I would be interested. But the problem is, I'm looking at this dialogue and the art style, and there's no confidence for me in here that this is something that is super clever and interesting. They don't look tight. They don't look professional. They don't look clever. So for me personally, I'm not interested in that kind of thing, but maybe other people are. So you guys should go check it out, see what you think about it. But yeah, I'm not so interested in that kind of story, to be honest with you. But I don't think it looks bad, and
No.
I certainly agree with Brad. I think it's better. I think it's better black and white than it is. But then again, that black and white is so stark, right?
Yeah, that's why I said the gray. You need the gray to break it up just a little bit. So if they did like a 40% gray just to add for certain characters, especially like the black character, maybe the backgrounds of the trees, just to break it up a little bit, it would be dead on perfect.
Yeah.
So, like even if they do was a zipatone, right, for some of the shading, things like that, that would be
Yeah.
awesome. Yep.
Well, there you go, guys. That's our take on today's Indicron, and we each have our own opinion on that, which is awesome. If you guys should go check it on your own and see if it's something you're interested in, we definitely want to support all the Indicron projects we feel we can. For sure. But of course, we're not going to buy something that we don't want. So, and we shouldn't. But if it's something that looks interesting to you and it's got a fair low price point and you want to get involved, then go check that out and support these guys. So yeah. Anything else to add today, Brad, before we finish our show?
Tonight's Drawn Quarter, the fan edition. Do not vote for Rick, and do not vote for John.
Because Rick is a traitor.
Rick is a traitor. Yeah,
absolutely.
And John does. John, unless I'm on the show to go against John, it's not fair. So, we'll see if a spot opens up though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Of course, you could go talk to Rick and see if he wants to give up his seat, but it's up to you.
But we'll just see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we're going to be doing that. That's going to be starting in an hour. That's going to be on Todd's channel, Ignition's channel. So definitely go check that out. What'd you say, Brad?
Sleepyhead.
Yeah, Sleepyhead. Yeah, but he's also a really good artist. He is. So go check that out over there, and I'll be heading that up in about an hour. So we'll be looking forward to seeing all of you who can come over. We understand it's Thanksgiving, and I really appreciate that the 16 of you are in here with us on Thanksgiving. That's awesome, guys. We really appreciate it, and we all hope you had a great Thanksgiving. And of course, tomorrow is Fan Speak, and Fan Speak this week we have Tim Lim is our guest in the first hour, and Tim Lim, of course, did Black Ops, and he's done things like Trump Space Force and other things like that. So he's certainly an interesting guy. We're going to have a good conversation with him. And in the second hour of tomorrow's Fan Speak, we have Vince Rodriguez, absolutely stellar artist. Excited to be talking to him. Yeah, other than that,
what time
guys,
are you doing that show?
Same time as we do all the time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, Fan Speak is a 2-hour show. But otherwise, thank you guys very much. And as we always do, Denali shall take the show out.
Well, thank you, everybody. You can catch me on my Twitter at Denali101 or at Denali Llama, where I'm just giving positive vibes there. But as always, thank you for joining us. Have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And thank you for joining us and helping us grow this community. And always remember, your perception shapes your reality. So always make it a good one.
Later, everybody.
Amen, brothers.